We talk a lot about K content being this global giant, this nonstop hit-making machine. But have you ever stopped to wonder how it actually runs day to day? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom in on just one 24-hour period, a single day, to really see the gears of this cultural empire in motion. So let's start the clock and see what a day in the life of this machine really looks like. So that's the big question we're tackling, right? How does an empire this massive and influential even operate, day in and day out? By just looking at all the news from a single day, we can start to piece it all together. It's like a case study for understanding the engine that's driving K-culture's incredible success around the world. All right, so where do we start? Let's go right to the top. We're going to look at the big picture, the strategic plans. This is the blueprint, the stuff that's shaping not just what's happening today, but what K-content is going to look like years down the road. And what's so fascinating is that on this one day, you can see two huge forces moving at the same time. On one hand, you've got the government, coming in from the top down, launching this big new presidential committee. Their goal? Global expansion. But then on the other hand, you have the industry itself, looking ahead and forming this new alliance to bring AI right into the heart of the creative process. And make no mistake, this is not some small side project for the government. The ambition here is absolutely massive. President Lee Jae-myung put it pretty plainly. The goal is for Korean pop culture to be right at the center of the world stage. I mean, they had Stray Kids and Sserafim performing at the launch. That tells you everything you need to know about how serious they are. Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. Let's look at what the private sector is doing. This new AI alliance, led by the tech and gaming company NCI, well, their mission isn't just about using AI to crank out more K-pop songs. No. Their real goal is to export the tools themselves. They want to create these AI-powered production solutions for the whole world. It's kind of like they're not just selling the fish, they're building a factory to sell the most advanced fishing rods on the planet. It's a total game changer. Okay, so we've got the high-level strategy down. Now let's move on to the pipeline. What's actually coming out of this whole machine? What are the tangible results of that blueprint? What's hitting our screens right now? Well, on this particular day, the pipeline delivered something big. A brand new premiere, a political thriller called First Lady. And this is a perfect example of what the industry does so well, that ambitious, big budget, can't look away kind of storytelling. I mean, just listen to this premise. It's a political thriller, you've got Eugene and Jihan-woo starring, and the main conflict? Get this. A president-elect demands a divorce from his wife, the future First Lady, just 67 days before he's supposed to take office. Wow, that is exactly the kind of complex, high-stakes, emotionally charged story that gets global audiences hooked. It's that perfect mix of personal drama and huge political power plays. But here's the thing you have to remember. A show is never just a show. To really get it, we need to talk about a super important business idea called content IP. That's intellectual property. Think of it like this. The IP is the core creative concept. The story, the characters, the world, that's the real asset. It's the thing that can be spun out into merchandise, games, you name it, long after the final episode airs. And look at this. We have a perfect example of that IP strategy in action. On the exact same day, there's news about that hit Netflix animation, K-pop Demon Hunters. See, they're not just celebrating that the show is a hit. They are actively monetizing that hit. First, they launch a character-themed cake. Then, they announce a whole new line of 3D goods for another character is on the way. You can see the steps right there. It's a very clear, very smart process for turning a great story into a full-blown brand. All right, so we've looked at the strategy, and we've seen the products coming out of the pipeline. But the big question is anyone actually watching? Let's switch gears and focus on the audience. It's time to check the pulse of the industry to see what people are really consuming, what they're reading, and what they're talking about. If we look at the TV ratings from back home, we get a really clear picture of what the mass audience is into and what's grabbing their attention. Well, look at that. It's the daily dramas. Shows like Catch the Big Fortune and Intimate Ripley are just dominating the top spots. They pull in huge, reliable viewership every single day. And right behind them, the evening news. This stuff is really the bedrock of what people are watching on broadcast TV. But official ratings, they only tell you part of the story, right? In the world we live in now, that online real-time buzz, that can be just as powerful, maybe even more so. So, beyond the numbers, what are the fans and the media actually buzzing about? And here we have the perfect example of that buzz machine in action. On this one day, this whole celebrity story unfolds in like 3 acts. First, dating rumors pop up about two big actors, Kim Yoo-jung and Kim Do-hoon. Act 2, their agencies come out with an official denial. But then Act 3, a new photo surfaces online that looks pretty affectionate. And bam, the whole debate is reignited among the fans. It's this cycle, rumor, denial, new evidence, that creates constant engagement. It keeps the stars, and whatever they're working on, right at the front of everyone's minds. Okay, so let's take a step back. We've looked at the strategy, the production, and the consumption. Now it's time to tie all these different threads from just one single day together. Let's see the big picture, which is this incredible interconnected ecosystem. This chart really lays it all out, doesn't it? None of the things we saw today were random events. They're all connected parts of one giant system. You have the high-level strategy, the government committees, the AI alliances. That directly fuels the production pipeline, giving us new shows and new merchandise. And then all of that gets measured by consumption, whether you're looking at hard data like TV ratings or the more intangible stuff like celebrity buzz. It's just a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle that keeps getting stronger. So, as we finish up our 24-hour checkup on this industry, it really leaves you with one big final question. Think about it. You've got a national government laser-focused on global dominance. You have an industry that's jumping on cutting-edge tech like AI. And you have this massive, incredibly passionate fan base that drives the conversation every single day. When you have all of that working together in perfect sync, what are the limits? What can't this incredible K-content machine achieve next?